Now, it's not just Pakistan, which has been, of course, warming up to Taliban. The Chinese government has also formed an unlikely partnership with Taliban. CNN's David Culver takes a closer look at the budding relationship between the two.
Weeks before the Taliban seized power in Afghanistan, China made a very public display of growing closer to the group's leadership. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi meeting a Taliban delegation in northern China in July, giving legitimacy and perhaps confidence to the militant group long regarded with fear and suspicion by the rest of the world. As many global powers now rush to escape Afghanistan, China claims it remains one of the few countries to retain its embassy in the capital. But China's support for the Taliban comes with strings attached. China's help with reconstruction in exchange for the Taliban assuring regional stability.
They will never allow any forces to use Afghan territory to endanger China.
A deal brokered between awkward allies, a militant group representing hardline Islam, and a Chinese government accused of cultural genocide against and mass detainment of its Muslim minorities at home. But China's relationship with the Taliban goes back a long way.
It established relations with the Taliban already in 1999 at the encouragement of Pakistan, which is one of China's closest allies.
The relationship was seen as pragmatism to manage a potential threat, as China shares a small border with Afghanistan through the Wakhan corridor. And China's multi-billion-dollar Belt and Road investments in neighboring Pakistan are at stake.
I think they are very wary to get involved militarily. And so at this stage, I think trying to cultivate the top rungs of the Taliban, promise lots of foreign aid and investments, that is really their least worst option at the moment.
The Taliban, for its part, has not spoken out publicly against China's crackdown on its Uyghur Muslim population in Xinjiang, a silence replicated by many other Muslim-majority countries such as Iran and Saudi Arabia. The Chinese government defends its Xinjiang policy and says it's trying to stamp out terrorism after several attacks which it blamed on a group called the East Turkestan Islamic Movement, or ETIM, a tiny fringe group that began to dissolve when its leader was killed by the Pakistani military in 2003.
On my orders,
Sean Roberts, author of The War on the Uyghurs, says the Chinese government used George W. Bush's war on terror to justify its harsh policies targeting the ethnic Muslim minorities.
I think that shielded China from a lot of criticism for some of the draconian policies it carried out against Uyghurs.
But other groups who could use the plight of the Uyghur cause to recruit jihadis, a concern for Asia's superpower as it tries to navigate the new political reality on its doorstep.
Well,